have a bunch of little projects to complete on the bus today. Should probably fix that at some point. Not priority, so good. Need to take this off, put the spacers behind here, put the little plug in right here, the grounding plug in here, work on the coolant system. I'm just gonna go with what I feel is right. Just do a bunch of little things and do what feels good. Things I want to get done, need to get done, would like to get done. Let's get them started. Need to take the alternator off because if you look right here, it needs to go forward so it lines up. These belts aren't going to be lined up perfectly because there's a pretty big gap right here and there's a tiny little gap right here, but I want to make it as close as possible. So I'm going to move this out about a ½ inch. Remove the alternator, now I have to remove the bracket. Gotta grind this stuff off of there, prep the steel for the next step. I'm extremely low on gas, so these welds are probably not going to be the best, but they'll be good enough to hold. Little to no shielding gas. Ain't bad, right? Looks like the right size. So you got to be very careful with these when you put pipe dope on them, because this is a ground, so you want to put very little on it, if any at all. I've had bad luck with not using pipe dope, so I'm going to put a very little on the upper threads and hope it seals. That should be good. With the ½ inch spacers, I went and got ½ inch longer bolts. Put a little Loctite on the ends of them. Now I'm just going to torque them down. Alternator back in, the bracket back in. You can see the pulleys line up a little bit better. They line up a lot bit better. That alternator looks a little bit different. Hypothetically speaking, it's kind of difficult to take those apart, and you probably shouldn't take those apart. Yeah, it's not a good idea. I tried to, and springs went everywhere, so next thing I'm gonna do is I need to measure how long this belt needs to be. Basically how I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna take a piece of string, just run around all 3 of them and measure that piece of string, go to a parts store and say this is what I need, and order like 6 of them. Probably 1 inch longer, 1 inch shorter. Turns out I didn't have any string, so I used a little piece of wire that's for chicken coops. Wrapped around here, down here, and up here. Now I'm going to cut them both right there, or where I bent them. I'm not going to cut them, actually. I'm just going to measure them right there, all the way around, and that'll tell me how long I need my belt. When I measured this belt, it was 60.5 inches. The first belt I ordered was 60 inches. Second belt I ordered, and third belt, I ordered them at the same time, was 63, and this one's 64. Why I got my measurements wrong is the piece of string sat in the very crevice of this, the very bottom of the V, and it sat closer. So it is 60.5 inches all the way around, but with the belt sitting on top of this like it is, it's 64 inches. 64 inches fits pretty decently. Now I'll just take this, I'll pry the alternator up here as high as I can. That'll tighten the belt. This is one of those times where it's like, this is a dumb idea. Is it gonna work? I think so. Doesn't mean it's not a dumb idea. There's still water in there. So that tells me it's freaking gross in there and all the valleys are plugged. So let me explain this contraption I got going on. We'll call it a dumb idea. Let me explain this dumb idea I got going on. Got a brand new radiator, an engine that is full of sludge, rust, calcium, and lime. Bunch of gross stuff. So what I'm going to do, once I get the belts on, I'm going to fill this thing full of water in a little CLR that's made to remove calcium, lime, and rust. Run it in the engine for 15 till it heats up. Really till I can get the engine hot. Run it in there, run it through here, just so I don't fill all the nastiness and rust and just grossness that comes out of the engine into that brand new radiator. Once it runs for a bit, I'll just take that hose clamp off, dump it all into a bucket. I'll put a bucket down there. And then no harm, no foul. Boom, engine clean. So my fancy little redneck contraption here is to clean out the engine's water coolant passages. I'm gonna run it for about 15 minutes, try to get it hot. Gotta move these out of the way. Try to get it hot, and then let it sit for a while, because all these valleys, there's so much rust and nasty stuff in there. And I'm gonna put some of this in there. This is what I told will fix it. It might work, it might not. I might just blow up my engine. I don't know. I'm trying all kinds of new things. My voltage before starting it is 12.3. See if the alternator works. The alternator's working. I don't know if the fuel pump, the water pump's working. I mean, it's spinning. We have shit leaking everywhere. So I'm thinking it's working. That's not good. Is that leaking from the fuel? What's that? Oh, that's just water. It's fine. Just pouring onto the fuel pump and then out the side. So it's leaking out of this head right here. That's not good at all. Well, I'm gonna let it sit, and yeah, I'm just gonna let it sit with this stuff in there. Hopefully it doesn't screw anything up, and see how it goes. Still have extremely clean oil. Hopefully my oil pump's working. I have no idea if I have oil pressure or not, but I'm gonna assume I do. So I ran the engine about 5-10 minutes yesterday. Now I'm gonna drain out all the water. Hopefully there's still water in it. I really hope it didn't drain into the cylinders or anything stupid like that. I hope that take this off, a bunch of water falls out right into that little fancy little bucket I got down there. Ooh, hey. Got some water. That was a hit. Okay, not bad, not bad. There's still water in up here. I'm hoping that means, I'm hoping that's good. Maybe a thermostat. I don't know. Next step for the old girl is hooking up the coolant system, actually hooking it all up. Hoping that none of that water leaked into the intake, or hopefully none of that water leaked in anywhere. I gotta connect the fuel system. I got a plan for that. I gotta fix the brakes because they are non-existent. A lot of work to do still, but we're making progress slowly but surely.